Module 7, Closing. Your client needs you now more than ever. For the sale-oriented real estate agent, the hardest fact to face is you must go from salesperson to detail watcher as quickly as the contract details are secured and the closing process is launched. This is a difficult focus shift for a salesperson. However, it's important to recognize that reality will settle in on your client and pressure to meet deadlines will heighten their emotions. There is, perhaps, no other transaction like a real estate closing to make people feel crazed and stressed. With such a large financial commitment on the line, it's easy to understand why emotions run so high. Take pause and deeply engage with your client. Otherwise, you'll give them the impression you are only in pursuit of the commission and not a caring relationship. Get help, but never abdicate responsibility. If you're not detail-oriented, it's critical to get help during this part of the process. Considering escrow companies, attorneys, and closing coordinators, you'll recognize there is plenty of help available. However, it's critical never to abdicate the responsibility. Either way, you coordinate the closing process by yourself or by delegating the details, you must remain fully responsible for meeting critical dates and deadlines. This is the stage where many third parties are introduced into the process to confuse your client, and it's critical you're there to explain everything and let them know they're in good hands and you're still in command. Anticipate problems and find the solutions. Most transactions will encounter challenges during the closing process. Home inspection items that must be negotiated, financing documents that must be produced, third parties that drop the ball. It will all happen sooner or later. Therefore, it's important for you to stay closely involved and intervene immediately when a challenge arises. The biggest mistake is to assume somebody else, even if they're more qualified than you are, will be there to explain the problems and solve them properly. Your job is to be the ultimate resource. And if you aren't orchestrating the resolutions, you could lose your sale, sliding all the way back to the beginning, or worse, losing your client altogether. Consider dates seriously. All agents want to close their deals quickly, so they keep the cash flowing. However, the reality of the deal might be that dates are being rushed and the need for contract extensions becomes inevitable. It's better to be realistic about timelines and advise your clients appropriately. Once those dates are agreed upon, make yourself a promise not to be the problem and take dates seriously and work with your client to maintain compliance. During this process, it's wise to maintain records of all communication and respond rapidly without sacrificing accuracy. Be flexible and anticipate challenges. Once you set your standard to adhere strictly to dates and deadlines, you must always prepare yourself for the reality of real estate transactions. Since there are so many variables, your ability to orchestrate them all at once will challenge you. Therefore, you must transition into a mentality of flexibility and make adjustments on the fly. Your client will be well served if you coach them from the beginning of the closing process to understand that Murphy's Law, that something will go wrong, might come into play, and they shouldn't worry as you'll handle the coordination of the changes needed. Earn your referrals. Even though starting your sales funnel with care is critically important, it's how you close that really matters. Many transactions go smoothly and the relationship is solid. However, as an agent, you might get that closer's rush when you put a property under contract and feel the need to jump on to the next transaction, minimizing the time you focus on the closing process. What you're missing is that you can turn a good sales process into a fantastic referral opportunity. You hear many people talk about creating raving fans, yet few talk about how. Close with a white glove touch and sincere appreciation, and what you've created is a past client who may well become the most important and low-cost way for you to build your business through their referrals.